Am I live or am I not live? That is the question, because I've been messing about. With the live stream, it looks like I am actually live. I've made it. A little bit late. Apologies. I hope you can hear me on the live stream, a first live stream for the qualifying session for the Australian Grand Prix. And well, started off with an absolute bang already in Q1. We've already lost Lance Stroll, last place. No surprise there with the Aston Martin. Carlos Sainz, 21st position, no lap time for him. Max Verstappen in last position. He dropped it. Car chucked him out. And that is Max Verstappen. I cannot remember the last time he's done that in a qualifying session. Absolutely insane. And then comes the two Cadillacs, Valtteri Bottas, followed by Sergio Perez. So Sergio Perez one-ups Valtteri. Valtteri will obviously start last because of his 5-place grid penalty. But still a one-up from Sergio Perez. And Fernando Alonso, 17th place for him. We've had Q2. We've lost Franco Colapinto, Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly in 14th, Esteban Ocon 13th, Ollie Berman in 12th, and Nico Hulkenberg in 11th place. And the two Racing Bulls have made it into the top 10 Q3 shootout. That is absolutely brilliant. Got a little bit of a break now, 10 seconds before the Q3 session starts. So we've got top 10. The Mercedes does look pretty impressive. Can Ferrari spring a surprise? They'll have to do something spectacular considering what we've seen from the first two sessions so far. But yeah, this will be interesting. I'll tell you what, Mercedes have done a hell of a job to get Kimi Antonelli back running in his car, because he had an absolutely massive smash in FP3 and that car didn't look like it's going to make it to the grid, but they've done it, which is absolutely massively impressive for them to pull that off. And we've got an extra minute for this Q3 session. Just remember that. This is a part of the rule change on that side of life. It'll be a massive minute for some, that. And let's see how we get on. I'm just shocked still that Max Verstappen hasn't made it into Q2. When's the last time we've seen Max Verstappen drop it? It's absolutely insane. I'm running a bit of a cold here, just give me a second. It's what a cold does. But Oscar Piastri on his first lap. What can McLaren do? Can they spring a surprise? Have they got something in them? They've been saying they're the dark horses. I think they are the dark horses, but they have been saying that they haven't quite got the pace of the Mercedes. It's looked like that actually from Q1, Q2. Russell looks absolutely mega. Oh, we've got a part on the track. A huge piece of someone's car and it's green, that would be straight away you'd say that's Stake F1's. It's from Kimi Antonelli by the looks of it. Yeah, they've left. Oh, the Mercedes have left a side pod piece in the airbox of Kimi Antonelli. It's like, what are they doing? It's fallen off. It's in the gravel trap. We've got a red flag for Q3 due to Kimi Antonelli or teams. So it's going to be investigated. He's already been investigated because the McLaren put his foot in the fast lane and pushed him back when he's trying to get out of the track earlier in the session. And then this is going to be investigated as well. And they've just left an airbox or a fan in the actual airbox. And they've just left him go on that. We've seen that before. Williams have done it. I don't think it'd be an issue for Kimi, but it definitely is going to be an issue for the Mercedes. Fine incoming on the Mercedes side of life. It's been whacked by a McLaren. Lando Norris has destroyed that one. Insane. Doesn't look like there's much damage to Lando Norris, so it looks like he's got away with that a little bit. Absolutely crazy. You can tell it's the first session of the season. The kind of mistakes that we get. Standard. Ted Kravitz over dramatizing the event. Just left it in there. Bit of a mistake. Probably just a fine. Out of all the drivers, there was only Gabby Bortoleto that didn't go out on track. Oscar Piastri set a lap. 1:30.0. But we have a little bit of a delay, bit of a break while we wait for the track to go green again. I mean, it can't take much because they've only broken a Mercedes airbox, or a McLaren has broken a Mercedes intake box. It blows the air into the car when they stop it. Yeah, nice, horrible green thing, but plastic shattered all over the track. Will it be more dramatic because someone hit it? They always say it was just punish the offence and not what happens afterwards. But I think that's a little bit of BS. We've seen that said before, and the truth is always something different. And we just keep getting replays of them smashing in. Let's turn that off. Might have been hearing a fan in the background. Apologies, guys. It's a bit cold out here in the UK. Early doors. It's 6:10 in the morning. Well, we've got two McLaren's, 2 Mercedes, 2 Racing Bulls. Hats off to them guys. Isaac Hadjar, the lone Red Bull, and Gabby Bortoletto. I've got hats off to him and Audi. Nico Hulkenberg, 11th. They can be massively impressed with that new team. They're putting people in the shade. The old boys like Haas, Alpine will be disappointing. I thought they would be absolutely brilliant. So far, they've qualified 14th and 16th on the grid. Interesting. An awful lot of work to be done by them boys, isn't it? At the back, we've got Fernando Alonso is just an absolute megastar, isn't he? 17th place in that Aston Martin. 17th. 5 places off the back of a grid where his teammate, I mean, granted, his teammate didn't do a lap, but I'm just glad it's Fernando Alonso's car that worked, because he's an absolute beast. Save some face for Aston Martin. How many laps will they get in that car tomorrow? We'll find out. I don't expect it to be many, though. Aston Martin fans would be absolutely gutted. Fernando Alonso fans will be absolutely gutted, because he's an absolute beast of a guy. And for him to be so disappointed getting his hands on a newie car, giving it all the hype, all the talk, and they've delivered what he had in McLaren, have Honda GP2. He'd be happy with that GP2 engine, I tell you that, for absolutely nothing than what they've got. I mean, they can't even do 3 laps. They might do more than 3 laps, but they've not done many laps, give it that. Absolutely shocking. I am shocked. Are you guys shocked? The few people that are watching. Hope you're enjoying it. My first ever live stream, so thank you very much for tuning in. Massively appreciated. Restarting session. 32 seconds. 30 seconds to go before they get back on track. And I think they've got enough time to all do 2 laps still. So we'll still see a banker, and then obviously everybody going for their quick lap. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Who's your pick? It looks like it is going to be all right. We just got to get Hamilton off the grid. Why Ping Kong? He's an absolute megastar. Who do you want in his place? Thanks for the first ever comment on a live stream from me, the F1 guy. Ping Kong. Cheers for tuning in. Why would you want Lewis Hamilton off the grid? The guy's an absolute GOAT. Could be 8-time world champion this season if Ferrari get their act together. If you watch my predictions, don't quite have him there though. I've got someone else as my champion for 26. Who is yours? It's a big one. It's always exciting when we've got new regulations qualifying. The cars are coming out. Oscar Piastri getting his warm-up done. 8 minutes, 55 seconds left in the session. So I think we've definitely got 2 runs. There's definitely enough time for 2 runs. You should do. If you don't, you've messed it up. But like we say, it's not quite the issue we're going to have what we've seen last year, where they're dawdling around as much with the tyres because of the way these new cars, and they need them to work. And we've actually found the issues with most of the teams that have had problems with this car and the way it's worked is when they've been going slowly. They don't like going slowly. I don't know if it's what the issues are, but most cars that have broken down have been crawling around anyway, and then suddenly the car didn't like it, and we've just heard all sorts of weird, strange noises. But here we go. So far we've got George Russell looks absolutely mega. 3 tenths up Oh, it's a lock-up, turn 3. Kimi Antonelli, a scruffy lap. Oh, scruffy lap from Kimi Antonelli. He should be 1-2 Mercedes. If the pace that they've got, that George Russell is showing, Kimi Antonelli needs to get his act together. He's ruined the lap. He's got one more. All the pressure's coming on now. And, well, let's see how that pans out for him and how it works for him. George Russell at 19-0. So as Piastri's lap was obviously not there. 1.2 second Piastri. 1.2 seconds off George Russell. Leclerc crosses the line. 120.2. Third place for him. This is insane. Isaac Hadjar. What a lap. Half a second. Oh, it's close. Lando Norris now takes second place. Half second, 0.2 in it between a McLaren and a Racing Bulls. Oh, that's not a Racing Bulls, it's a Red Bull, isn't it? Isaac Hadjar. I'm confusing myself. He's had an upgrade. Decent lap from Isaac Hadjar in that Red Bull. They are in the shot. Charles Leclerc pops it into third place. Absolutely incredible. Lewis Hamilton gets himself up into fifth place. He's a few tenths off Charles Leclerc, 2 tenths. So far, Mercedes half a second up on Lando Norris. It's the next lap where we'll see Mercedes really shows what they've got. And will they? I mean, Charles Leclerc was saying yesterday, or just after FP2 at least, that the Mercedes have finally unleashed what they've got on their long lap pace, their long runs. They look absolutely incredible. And if Norris takes pole, Charles Leclerc, I mean, he could be into turn 1, P1, with the way that Ferrari starts. So it's not all over, even if George Russell takes pole position, because I don't expect him to be in P1 going into turn 1. The way that Ferrari takes off the line, if they get it right, as we've seen pretty much all testing. We've seen it in free practice as well when they took to the practice start. So it's not all over, guys. There's still potentially a race in it, provided Ferrari are at least a row or so behind Ferrari, the front row. I mean, from fourth, I can see it happening, which is absolutely incredible. It's that much of a beast of a difference. First run's done. Everybody's making their way back into the pit lane. We've got Kimi Antonelli out again, warming up. He's doing his second run pretty much straight after. I don't know if he's not got enough time to do his out lap, final lap, and then one more actually. So this is Kimi Antonelli giving him his one and only go, as is Arvin Limbalad and as is Liam Lawson. So they're doing a one-shot qualifying. It's all or nothing for them boys. So everybody else has gone in the pits. Them three have the track to themselves. So this is going to be their shot. And wherever they land, they land. But I am surprised at the Racing Bulls. What a car they've pulled out. Absolutely incredible. Both into the top 10. Audi, we've got Gabby Bortoletto. Shout out to him and Audi fixing that car, getting them up into the top 10. Did not see that. I thought the Haas, the Alpine, and the Williams would do them. shown otherwise. Both cars, Nico Hülkenberg was 11th, have out-qualified them 3 teams. And Aston Martin. Hats off to Audi. What an incredible job they've done. They've come under the radar a little bit. I did not see them doing or being this good so far. So Kimi Antonelli taking away around his first and one and only lap. A crucial lap this for Kimi Antonelli because that Mercedes should be on pole position. He's making around, he's done sector 1. Solid, nothing spectacular. What's he done in terms of everybody else? We're just sector 27.5. He's still a 10th down. Oh, it's not half a tenth down on his teammate. Oh, clipping down into that final. Fastest of everybody. In sector 2. George Russell out there as well. Fastest of everybody in the middle sector, George Russell. Kimi Antonelli crosses the line, 18.8. So he does go fastest. He beats his teammate, but not for very long, because George Russell is showing what this Mercedes is all about. Three tenths up is George Russell already. He's coming around the penultimate corner. George Russell to stick it on pole position, but looks certain for him. Can anybody touch him? Oh, an 18.5 from George Russell. He's 3 tenths ahead of his teammate. And is that a 1-2 for McLaren in the bank? Has Kimi Antonelli done enough for that? Let's see what anyone else has got going on for them at the moment. Oscar Piastri coming around for his final run. 3rd place for Oscar Piastri on his final run. Charles Leclerc coming around, crossing line. 3rd place, Charles Leclerc. He's the best of the rest as things stand at this moment. But look at the gap to the McLaren boys. 8 tenths. Oh, Isaac Hadjar's done it. Get in, lad. He takes the checkered flag, so that is definitely his lap. I think it's definitely everybody else's final run. Lando Norris coming across the line now. P6 for him. He's been out-qualified by Oscar Piastri. Lewis Hamilton, 7th place. Disappointing. He's been beaten by his teammate again. I mean, there's only a 10th and a half in it. Arvin Lemblad crosses the line. 8th place for him. A 1:21.2. Liam Lawson's coming across the line. He's 8th place for Liam Lawson. Beats his teammate Arvin Bland. Oh, that's a lap, isn't it? I think Arvin Bland got some mistake there. He's 1.3 off Liam Lawson. Gabby Bortoletto didn't do a lap. That's a disappointment. Pole position for George Russell. What a lap. Mercedes. 8 tenths to their nearest rival, Isaac Hadjar. What a lap from him. He'll give some hope to Max Verstappen tomorrow. But wow, a Mercedes 1-2. We said they would be dominant. And boy, they have put themselves and their name on the map. 1-2. Kimi Antonelli's lap was... He just had to get a clean lap in. And that was absolutely incredible. He lost all his time in the... Well, in the middle sector did Kimi Antonelli. Is about 2 tenths off, or just shy of 2 tenths off George Russell. But it's a 1-2 for Mercedes, and we've bigged them up all season. Everybody's bigged them up, and I was just kind of hoping that we might see someone else rise to the challenge. But there we have it. George Russell, pole position. Kimi Antonelli in second place, 3/10 behind his teammate. Isaac Hadjar in his first run in Red Bull in third place. Charles Leclerc finishes in fourth. Watch him take first place into turn one. So the race start tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that, because that is going to be epic. Can't wait to see that Ferrari shoot off the line. And that will cause the Mercedes some headache. Oscar Piastri and then Lando Norris, the two McLarens, split the Ferraris. 8/10 and nearly a second off are Lando Norris, the champions from Mercedes. I mean, the fact that it's 8/10 is absolutely incredible. We said the compression ratio issues, we were talking 2 or 3/10. It's not just that, is it? It seems that they've got the ultimate package. Lewis Hamilton, will he be disappointed? 7th place, probably, but he's only a 10th of his teammate, Charles Leclerc, so not the worst. Where can he end up from 7th on the grid? Will we see a Ferrari 1-2 into turn one with the way they start? I'm not sure about Lewis Hamilton, but I'm confident Charles Leclerc can be first into turn one. Liam Lawson, shout out to him, 8th place, the Racing Bulls. Incredible job. Arvin Lindblad follows his teammate behind him. A scruffy lap, actually. He finished best part of a second and a half, or just short of a second and a half behind Liam Lawson, but he didn't have any pressure in behind him because Gabi Bortoleto didn't do a lap. Nico Hulkenberg, 11th place. What a job from the Audi guys. I've got to give him credit for that. A 10 and 11, a big race for them tomorrow. Then comes the two Haas, Ollie Berman, Esteban Ocon, 12th and 13th. I think they can be pretty happy-ish with that. I suppose they probably were hoping that beat the Audis and at least within the fight of the Racing Bulls. Pierre Gasly in 14th, the fastest Alpine, and I tipped them, and everyone sort of tipped them to be the dark horse in this season. Interesting to see how they get on. Pierre Gasly. Alex Albon, 15th for him in the Williams. He's out-qualified his teammate, but probably just by default because Carlos Sainz didn't do a lap. And we never really got a fair comparison between him and his teammates. Well, interesting to see what he can do in the race tomorrow, what their race pace is like. We know they're overweight, had issues through preseason testing. 15th is disappointing when we bigged Williams up for them to be brilliant this season, and 15th is definitely not where they want to be. 16th place, Franco Colapinto, kind of where I expected him to be because I thought he'd be comfortably behind Pierre Gasly. I didn't expect Pierre Gasly to be so bad. Franco Colapinto, 16th. Fernando Alonso, 17th in the Aston Martin. I've got to give him a shout out because that is just Fernando Alonso. Absolutely incredible. He's got an absolute dog of a car, breaking and destroying his nerves for the team. And to pull off a lap to get them in 17th on the grid is insane. What a lap. Fernando Alonso, he proves why he is an absolute GOAT. He does it again. Sergio Perez, 18th place for him in his first outing with Cadillac. I think they can be happy. They're not both last. Everybody thought they would be last, and they definitely are not last. He beats his teammate Valtteri Bottas. I'll be happy with the one up on that. Bottas qualified 19th, will start last, obviously, with that 5-place grid penalty. Or will we see Lance Stroll make the grid? Who knows? But for Valtteri, probably a little bit disappointed. He's been beaten by his teammate, and that's who them two will be judged against, won't they, this season? Max Verstappen out 20th place, and that is, we've never seen that before. He definitely would have been third. I don't think he's that good where he's would have been less than 8/10 on Kimi Antonelli or George Russell, he might have been a little bit closer to them. So there's hope that with Max Verstappen with that Red Bull in the hands of Max Verstappen, they might be only half a second behind the Mercedes, which just shows how good they are. But yeah, a mistake from Max Verstappen, dropped it. When do we see the legend do that? He's been absolutely mega. And a mistake in the first run when it mattered. We don't see that often. Carlos Sainz, 21st place, didn't do a run. And then last, Lance Stroll and Aston Martin didn't do a run. But wow, Mercedes have done what they needed to do. And like I've said, they've got 8 races to make an absolutely huge lead in the championship for them, because when this compression ratio clap comes in and the rules change, everybody is expecting them to lose performance, at least 3/10. So everybody knows they've still got nearly half a second to make up, which is no mean feat, but that's still possible. Mercedes won't be developing in terms of, they need to just make sure they're not breaking the rules. So they've got to spend time and resources away from doing what they want or need to do. So there's chance there for everybody to catch up. So really they need to make the most of these 8 races. And if 2 get cancelled, which is possible with Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, let's hope the wars there stop or around them stop. And we do get them 2 races, because otherwise it could turn down to 6. So the FIA are not going to replace them races if they are cancelled. And that means they've only got 6 races before they change the rules, which will be a bit of a different game for them. They won't be able to make as much of an advantage before that rule change, chops them at the knees a little bit. But that is a statement from Mercedes. An absolutely incredible job. Charles Leclerc is going to be leading into turn 1, lap 1 tomorrow, though, so there's not all lost just yet for the Australian Grand Prix. And let's see what the overtaking will be like, because they will have to pass Charles Leclerc. I am putting everything in my house on Charles Leclerc being in in first place down into turn 1 because of that fast starting Ferrari. The start tomorrow should be incredible. Expect excitement. So you want to make sure you tune in for that. It's I think it's a 5 a.m. start or 6 a.m. start for the qualifying UK time. That is for the Australian Grand Prix. But there we have it. My first live stream done for the qualifying session for the Australian Grand Prix. Mercedes are the team to beat, clearly. There was hope that someone else might take the battle to them, but they will sleep well today, won't they? They've had trauma in the ground effects era of Formula One. And George Russell, he's got what he wanted. He joins a team that he thought would take him to a world championship and be fighting at the front. He didn't have that since he's joined. And he will trust me, George Russell will take every opportunity that comes to him. He's been doing it last year, and he will grasp this opportunity. He's an absolute brilliant driver. He just needs to hope he can make enough of an advantage before everybody else catches up. And that's going to be the big one for him. But there we have it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment as always. Thank you for the guys that have been following on my first ever stream. Much appreciated. I got a comment as well, which is absolutely incredible and more than I can actually ever have hoped for. So thank you guys for sticking with me and wanting to watch along. That's me signing out. See you for the race tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you next time.